you?
Hi, how are you, Jimmy?
That's all good. Don't worry about it. I don't go into the one too much because recording purposes.
Okay.
So we don't want to catch that. Well, welcome to the Let's Talk About a Podcast YouTube series.
Thank you.
How's everything going?
Everything's going well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So your expertise now is in Mercer County, right?
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about Mercer County?
Oh, Mercer County is a wonderful place.
Okay.
You have sprawling neighborhoods and beautiful parks and amazing views, as well as, great access to highways and being able to travel across, going to Delaware, Philadelphia, New York. It's kind of like a central hub. Technology based companies are there, as well as beautiful farms and wineries. It's just a beautiful compilation of wonderful things.
So you get the best of both worlds and not spending that much money moving to Mercer County.
I'm not saying I'm not spending a lot of money. It definitely is a difference in where I came from, for sure. The expense is a little bit more, but it's worth it.
Okay, that's what's up. So Princeton is in Mercer County, right? So,
yes. But I'm now in Robbinsville.
Now you're in Robbinsville.
Robin is in Robbinsville.
Robin's in Robbinsville. Okay. So I've been to Princeton a couple of times. One of the famous pancake house on Nassau Street, right across the street from the university, is I forgot the name.
Is it PJ's?
PJ's, yeah, PJ's
Okay,
Pancake
yeah.
House, yeah.
Yes.
I think hands down they got one of the best pancakes down there.
There's a few of them. Actually, there's one in Lawrence. There's one in Robbinsville.
Okay.
There's if I'm correct, there's a couple of pancake houses.
Okay. And it's funny, right? You mentioned Mercer County. I would have never thought in a million years to even consider Mercer County to move to, but I would do it now because I'm living in the state of New Jersey.
We are the best kept secret. Best kept secret.
That's a strong opinion.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So for me, when growing up, going into Greater Venture, Jacksonville, that's in Mercer County, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
It's about 15 minutes away.
15 minutes from. Okay, so we'd plan like a 2-3 day getaway to Greater Venture. So we would meet on the junction, Flatbush and Nostrand, and then take those buses into Jacksonville, Greater Venture, and we spent like 2-3 days from there. I'm like, wow, I used to do all that, and now I'm like literally 40 minutes away from.
Which still isn't too far.
No, it's not too far, but it's just to give you a story. I never knew about Mercer County until I started living here, and I have friends who live in Hamilton too.
Yeah,
so.
Hamilton's great too. It's right next to Trenton.
Right.
Bordentown. You have West Windsor, East Windsor, Robbinsville, Princeton. It's right there.
Oh wow.
I used to. Back in my acting days,
Acting, okay.
acting and modeling days, I used to catch a train at Hamilton.
Okay.
So it's a great area to get to and from New York or wherever you need to go through Amtrak or New Jersey Transit. So, but Jacksonville, they have the outlet there.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, it's small, but
Okay.
it works. They have I go there for the Nike outlet.
The Nike outlet. Everybody goes to Nike outlet these days. Okay.
But the Six Flags Great Adventures, I think it was 2 years ago, I invited my sons out, and they met me there with their girlfriends. I had a friend come from Poland, and we spent a whole day there, and I rode every ride at my ripe age.
Wow.
And some people didn't even get on. Some of the people we were with, the kids, they wouldn't even get on the ride.
No, because I'm not going on those rides anymore. Them days is over. Nah. Not doing it. It's just.
You don't want to be turned upside down, shaking all around, and thrown across?
No, absolutely not. No.
You don't see the views, people down there?
The views.
Yeah, the views where you could land if it stops and brakes. Okay.
That's the problem, if it stops, right?
Yes.
That part right there.
What's meant to happen will happen.
That is true, but I'm not going to take that chance.
Okay, all right.
So tell me about what some of the things that are going on, especially with first-time home buyers moving to Mercer County, right? Because you mentioned cost is you get more for your money down there.
Well, you get more in a different way, right?
Explain.
Your lifestyle
changes,
right? You have access to things that you wouldn't normally have. For example, Mercer County Park. If you I ride road bike, so I go there, and what happens is. What they have there is beautiful. They have like a boat marina where you can kayak for like $20 for an hour. Right across is a golf course, which I golf at. It's Mercer County Golf.
This is a county golf course, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But right across they have the bike trails, the walking trails, and they're all paved. But along the trails they have exercise equipment. They have several playgrounds. They have some historical information. I just read one on, I think it's the Rogers family. It's like a hollowed out house, 4 generations since the 1700s.
Interesting.
And then they have beautiful festivals that happen across. They have an amphitheater. I last went to Juneteenth, the Vivian Green concert, and on Juneteenth they had some other artists there that were great. Very multicultural, diverse community. For buyers, it just gives gives you a better insight on, you know, it gives you sort of like a better knowledgeable life, you know, because you are immersed in culture, in different cultures, which keeps an open mind, right?
Right.
If you're open to it. And that means food is different. You have access to different types of foods and ingredients, and it's just a beautiful collective environment. So moving to Mercer County really gives you the opportunity to explore, and I will tell you a quick story of my exploration that failed.
Okay.
So I heard there's a swinging bridge in Princeton.
A swinging bridge?
A swinging bridge.
Okay.
So myself decided to go by myself for an adventure. And so I'm going to go hike and look for this swinging bridge.
Okay.
So there's this map. You type in swinging bridge Princeton.
Right.
You go in and you park, and then there's a trail, and it doesn't give you any directions where this thing is.
But it's there.
Yeah, but you have your GPS.
Right.
Lo and behold, you go in, and your GPS doesn't work. So you're like, all right, I remember it was in this direction.
Okay.
So I'm traveling for like 2 hours. The clouds start to come in. Now you're already in the woods, right?
Right.
It's not hills, peaks, and valleys. It's just flat land. It's just woods. So you're in the woods, and the trees are coming over you like this. So they're blocking the sun. So when the clouds come, it's nighttime.
Oh, you're not seeing anything.
Yeah.
No.
Now, I wanted to be cute. I brought my journal, had my book bag. I didn't bring water, though. I didn't bring a knife. I didn't bring anything. And I have on a little crop top and some short shorts because it's hot outside. I wanted to be cute.
You think you'd
had a little blanket. Yeah, I had a little blanket in my book bag because I was going to lay it out and show myself journaling and video. And I never got to that point. There was mud everywhere. I had my brand new white Nike sneakers on.
Okay.
Brand new, spanking white. Mud everywhere. I'm stepping. It's like, then I get lost. I got lost for an hour and a half.
Wow.
It's raining. In the dark. I'm by myself. Now, I saw people leaving, but I was like, oh, well, I'm going to still look. I said, did you find the bridge? They're like, no. So I go in, and it's taking forever to come out. I come out at some friend's school, some type of school. And I was like, oh, I hear cars, right? I'm crying. I got tears. I got rain, everything. My mascara is all messed up. I'm going Facebook Live. I'm like, oh,
you on Facebook Live?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
because I wanted to know where I was.
Okay. So, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
So I come out, and I'm on the street. Now, cars are passing me by. And I'm realizing where I am now because I didn't know then.
You see a highway.
Yeah. Not highway, but I see just cars coming out, right? So I come out, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go that way because my phone's not working. GPS not working. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Do you know where I came out at? If I had walked maybe 100 steps to the right, my car was right there. But I decided to walk to the left, like 3 miles.
That happens sometimes.
It was right there.
You didn't go with your gut feeling. That's why.
I know.
You didn't go with your gut feeling. Had you went with your gut feeling, I think you probably would have got.
I was so flustered because cars were passing me by and looking at me. It's rain. I'm wearing all white. Right. Rain.
It was white.
Yes. and I'm like mascara and everything, so I look like a crazy woman.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was an adventure in Princeton. And looking for the swinging bridge. Went the second time. We went kayaking.
Okay.
I brought my drone. Still couldn't find a daggone bridge. We went the wrong way. So I'm still looking for the bridge. But
so bridge is pending.
Bridge is pending.
And you've had technology help you.
Yes.
You went through some disastrous outfits, makeup, everything, and you still haven't found the swinging bridge. I haven't
found the swinging bridge.
But it exists.
It exists.
Okay.
I found it on my drone. But the problem was there's like a sort of like a patch between that we couldn't get through because the woods were so dense.
Okay.
And we saw it with the drone, and I was like, oh, man. So
it's there.
It's there.
We just gotta.
So these are the adventures you can have in Princeton. There's so many different adventures and historical points, with the Civil War. Like so many different things you could visit where you can see along the way.
I did not know that about Princeton.
Yeah.
I mean, the most I've been about Princeton, again, my daughter swims at Princeton University during long course seasons. I've been there. And like I said, I have friends who live in Hamilton. But I've never put myself in a situation where I need to explore Princeton. I do know it's convenient and it's near Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Because I used to, work out of Bucks County.
Right.
So I knew I passed Princeton, and I'm like, okay, I see it, but I've never absorbed it or took it all in. I know there's a lot of open land there.
Yeah.
So for me, coming from my world of Brooklyn, when I see land, I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna keep going.
Right.
I'm not trying to stay here or get a flat.
And it's crazy because so for example, when I moved there, I was like, I need to get involved in the community and
Right.
see, join different groups and things like that. And I joined the Princeton Arts Council.
Okay.
I was making earrings. I was doing pottery.
You were
art.
crafting. Check
Yeah,
you out.
it
Okay.
it was amazing. So there's
Okay.
things like that to sort of like, really.
To bring you into the area.
Well, not
right?
even that. It's just enjoying the things that they have available to you.
Okay.
It's a very creative arts district area too.
Okay.
Between, they always have like, I went to Speakeasy.
There's a
there.
Speakeasy.
Yes, it's so
Yeah,
much. And the
guys,
parks-
I'm discovering this on my show right now. That's how much I do not know about
Yeah.
Mercer County, particularly Princeton, right?
Yeah, they have parks, even Trenton. People shoot Trenton down, but they have a love between, like there's a,
I ain't going to Trenton.
listen, let me tell you, and I'm not one to judge. I will say this because I came from.
We're not
humble
supposed to be
beginnings.
judging. We're not
I'm just
supposed
saying,
to be
I came from
judging.
humble beginnings. I can rock with it. Okay, so
No, her humble beginnings is the
I'm going-
Bronx. So she has some real humble beginnings. She's from the Bronx.
Well, we kind of live like the Huxtables in the Bronx, but when we go to South Jersey, it was a little different.
Okay.
But anyway, no, but seriously, Trenton has a lot to offer too. We have the Thunderbolt baseball field.
Okay.
So I recently went to the Thunderbolts a game there, and they just turned into the Golden Retrievers. That's a name, and they did a name change.
Okay.
So you can watch semi-pro baseball there.
Right.
It's like tickets were like $7.
Okay.
So
That's
family
not
night
bad.
out,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
They have a Cooper Rivers place where people go dancing. A lot of gyms out there.
They go dancing.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You don't have to go online to see people dance.
No.
You go someplace to
You
watch people go dancing.
You go dance.
Wow.
And everything's local, so it's like you can drive home, get home.
So they got a roller rate skiing too. They have that.
A roller rink?
Yeah.
So there is one, but the last time they have a roller. So there are people who meet in this park in Trenton to roller skate. There's like a group that roller skates. I bought new skates, but
So you skate too.
yes.
Well, I'm learning so much on this. Oh my God. Wow.
My sons are 27 and 24 next month.
27 and 24.
Yeah, and
okay.
then they're like, "Mom, you're lit. Like you do more than we do. Like you're all over. Like you do
She said,
so
Mom,
many
you're
things."
lit. I can imagine.
And-
Mom, you're lit.
But I will travel to enjoy life. So
Okay.
I'll come up to Edison, Tio Tequila Bar. I
Okay.
love Mexican food.
Uh-huh.
I'll go everywhere and eat, and I'm a
And-
foodie.
And then you bring that flavor in Mercer County because
Yeah.
that's what makes you lit, right?
Yeah, no. My kids call me lit, but I try to inspire people to live their best life.
Okay.
Say, listen, one day at a time. You never know what's going to happen. Enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I met you too. Well, I didn't meet you, but I got to know you better. We went to an event in Philly.
Yeah.
And that's how you introduced me to Ed, who now is at Real Brokerage. That's when I first met him.
Okay.
And all that good stuff. So just to give you, I didn't tell you I was going to talk about that, but
No, that's all right.
yeah, that was
Free flow.
I met. Yeah, that's how I met you, and you're doing your thing and you living your life at the moment.
And I
so-
invite everyone to do it. So like I don't have, my circle of friends are different from normal people. So because I've moved so much in life
Right.
to different schools, my friends are collective beings and they come from different places.
Right.
And so like when I invite everyone, I'll invite everyone to do whatever I say, hey, let's do this.
Right.
You'll get different age groups, different cultural backgrounds. You get, a 60-year-old man to a 22-year-old young lady who just moved into the country.
Right.
And we just come together to do one thing, and
Have a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up. So you see now, how are you? So obviously, some first-time home buyers cannot move to Princeton because that's a little price point.
Well, I wouldn't
right?
suggest Princeton for a first-time home buyer.
Right, but there are some who can, right? But what what towns in Mercer County where you feel some first home buyers would do well with the down payment and affordability, right? Because that's one of the biggest things the challenges we have right here in the state of New Jersey.
Right. So affordability is definitely an issue.
Right.
And I had just posted something on my Facebook about, before we used to be worried about credit. Now we're worried about, can you afford the payment?
That's so
And
true.
that's
yeah.
the most important
That's the
part
most
right
important,
now, right?
It is. It is.
So basically, I would say, as far as wanting to be able to have access to all of this,
Right.
the two towns I would suggest two towns. It would be Hamilton
Okay.
or Bordentown.
Bordentown?
Bordentown's a beautiful downtown community. It's
Okay.
almost like Haddonfield. Are you familiar with Haddonfield, New
I'm not
Jersey?
familiar, no.
Okay, so, I sell homes from South Jersey all the way up to Central.
Right, right.
So 17 years, or not 17, 15 years, 14 years in South Jersey, and part of, not Central Jersey, but I thought Cherry Hill was Central Jersey. I'm from South,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Vineland, Cumberland County, and Atlantic County. I sold it. So I go from Atlantic County all the way up to a little bit past. I've done Middlesex too.
Okay.
I have Highland Parks.
I
That's the
consider
furthest I've
Middlesex
gone.
South Jersey for me. I'm just
Really? Oh my
Yo,
goodness.
anything past I think past 123 on the Garden State Parkway, I'm like, it's south.
Okay.
But it's not. It's central New Jersey. It's still
Okay.
considered central New Jersey.
Yeah, so I would say those two, they're outskirts. So Hamilton is technically Trenton, but the
Right.
outskirts, like suburbs of Trenton. I would say a starter person. So I had a young lady, she's a teacher, and maybe her salary was like 60,000, not even, maybe 55, 60,000. So
Okay.
she wouldn't be able to afford probably a $400,000 house.
Right.
So my suggestion to her was to go ahead, find a house. Now this gets people a little confused. Find a house you would rent. They say, what? Yeah, instead of paying the landlord rent,
Right.
buy a house you would move into. Don't think about it as your forever home. Don't think about it as your home. Think
That's
about
a
it as
good-
your investment.
Right. That's a great analogy right there,
Right.
right? Because if you're gonna pay, visualize it. Yeah, pay yourself, right?
Right.
Visualize it.
So don't think everything has to be perfect to your liking, but think about what it would be like for a tenant that you collect rent for.
Right.
Right? Buy that first, stay there long enough to earn equity, and then when you're ready to move on and you have your salary is a little bit higher, maybe you picked up a second job for 2 years to get a mortgage to include that,
Right.
then, or maybe you're single now and you find yourself engaged or married maybe a couple years down the line,
Right.
then you have joint income, you can afford more. Now
You can do more.
you can either sell it if you have enough equity, if you want to sell it, or you can rent it out and purchase the next home. So now you have passive income
Right.
on the home that you chose to be something you rent to yourself.
That's why it's so important when working with someone like yourself to explain that, because I think that's so important, right? You need to understand if you're going to pay, why not pay yourself and take that time and understand what that looks like, because, these things do come with liabilities, right?
Right.
And it's important to understand what that looks like at a smaller scale before you reach to a scale where you can't afford it, because the last thing you want is saying you can't afford it or they put us in here. It's not. We're trying to make sure we manage your financing by having that important conversation in the beginning. What does it look like if you are paying your landlord? And then if you're comfortable with that and you're willing to move up because your circumstances got better,
Right.
now you're in a position to do that. I love that analogy you put.
So once we get them in the mindset, because mindset's important,
Correct.
to say find your rental. Right.
Right.
Now you're allowed to buy your investment. Go ahead, find it. Right. Once we get them that mindset, now we're going to look at don't go too high.
Right.
Don't go too high. Don't go too many repairs. Think about once we look at the home, let's look at the foundation first. Then we look at the appliances and utilities.
Right.
And after that, then look at the cosmetics.
Right.
Because cosmetics is nothing.
No.
So don't worry about that. That will change as you earn a couple dollars here, you'll replace the rug, you'll replace the paint on the walls. That's nothing.
Right.
But once they can, some people can't, I want a house now, I want one, and they're looking forever.
Right.
But I will tell you this, I'm not a pushy agent. And some people may fault me for that, some buyers. They'll say, I've been waiting for you to show me houses. I'm one person who's not going to waste your time, but at the same rate, if we have we sit together, we have a plan, we have a consultation.
Right.
It's not just show me a house and here's my price range. I won't
No.
work with you.
No.
I won't. I'll
It's
say,
important,
no, we
right.
need to make a plan.
Which makes sense.
I'm a practitioner.
Right.
I practice this. So I know what's best.
Right.
Not best for you personally. I know what's best for you financially.
Right.
So let's look at this list, and also for your lifestyle, what you explained to me, because buyers go off course. They see
They
something.
sure do.
Yeah.
Right? And
They're
social media helps that too, because they put this in front of them that, oh, you can actually do this. I'm just going to go to this professional. This is what this, and then you're like, no, that's not how it goes.
Right. And so they have so one person may say to me, okay, I want to be this far from work, and I need to be in this payment, and I need to be near this doctor because my kid, and I need a school for autism and nearby, right? So then we were looking, and then they send me a house that didn't pop up on the search that I gave them because
Right.
I put those criteria in there.
Because that's what you were looking for.
That's what you were looking for. You told me
Right.
what was most important to you,
Right.
right? Well, they veer off. They get off an exit, and I'm standing at the exit like, come back. And I'm not being controlling,
Right.
but I'm saying, okay, let's go back to the list. I'm not saying you have to stick to this list,
But this is what we discussed.
but this is what we discussed. I want you to see that for yourself first.
Right.
And then I want you to tell me what you're willing to change and what makes sense. Don't think about this house, because this is just one house you may not even win the offer on,
Correct.
right? So now what can we change based on this house that you saw? Does it make sense? So you're telling me you're willing to accept this house that's nowhere near a school for your kid, that you have to drive now. You wasn't thinking about that.
No.
You were thinking about how beautiful the house was. So I keep people on track of
Right.
their goals.
It's important to stay in your lane, especially when you're spending that type of money.
Yeah.
Right.
But we're spenders as Americans. You know that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we get so far from our goals based on what someone else has, what someone else, embarrassed because they want what other people have and theirs
Right.
may not be as great. But I want to buy a house and I want to buy it now and it needs to look like this. Slow down. You never bought a home before. You only get your first home, you'll probably be in it 4 years.
Right.
It's probably longer now because the market's changed so much.
Correct.
Because it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
find housing.
Right.
But as far as people, I used to say, I help you achieve your goals. But if you don't share your goals with me, I can't help you. And I won't work with you because I won't be able to help you. I'll be wasting my time and your time.
Complete the service throughout the whole process.
Right.
And that's why I say, I strongly feel there's a lot more happening in Mercer County. Because like I said, I think the townships / municipalities, Union County, Essex County, there's oversaturation. Like you just go on certain certain roads and highways, you see it. And I feel like you can get so much more, especially New Jersey Transit coming out of Princeton and Hamilton, right? It
Right.
goes right into the city. What is it, like 45, 50 minutes? How long does it take New Jersey Transit to go into Newark or New York City?
Oh,
I think it's like
not-
45, 50
Yeah,
minutes.
45 to 50 minutes. It's
Right.
It's not long.
It's not long at
Hour
all.
and 6 minutes. Just depends on when you're traveling.
Okay.
And if you take the local or you don't.
Okay.
But my son lives in Washington Heights, and he takes the train. We pick him up from the Hamilton station. It doesn't take him too
It
long.
doesn't take too long. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. I think there's, I know there's a lot more opportunities in Mercer County just because there's the price points are attractive. Like you
Yeah.
just mentioned, the towns, and yes, some towns may not be alike. But going back to what you're saying, if you were paying rent, kind of sort of you're going to be there temporarily and your circumstances are going to change. So
Right.
maybe you can afford to be someplace different in Mercer County, but at the end, you will get your money's worth in this county.
Right. I would say, for example, so the price marks in Trenton, so,
Right.
in Trenton, in Mercer County. So price points in Trenton, believe it or not, start around 200,000
200,000.
in Trenton.
Wow.
Used to be like 50. 200,000 to 250,
Right.
you'll get a decent house. Then Hamilton is 310 to about 450. Now, if you want to go a little bit higher, you can. It does get a little higher. Robbinsville starts at 6, in the middle 6s
Okay.
to 8. Okay. Princeton starts a shell or something that's basic, total rehab, 600,000.
Okay.
Total rehab, 600,000, meaning you're removing oil tanks, these are old properties.
Right.
And it can go all the way up to 1.4 million, 1.5 million.
Okay.
Okay. And then you have Bordentown is between maybe 3 to 500,000. And then also I tell people if you can't afford those things, those places, there's also, and you don't want to be in Trenton, there's also Burlington County, which is where Bordentown is. Bordentown is not Mercer County, but it's right next to Hamilton.
It's next to Hampton. Okay.
So that's Burlington County. Burlington County has some nice areas like Mount Holly, which I serve, Columbus, and there's, was it Willingboro?
Okay.
And some people are concerned about the safety for Willingboro and Trenton and things like that, but I said, you know what? If you look at the suburbs, because the market has changed, the neighborhoods are going to change.
Right.
So 2020 happened, 2021, 2022, 2023. We have new types of owners. We have a working class.
Correct.
So the neighborhoods have changed. People are outpriced. They sold. They moved wherever. And now the influx of different types of neighbors
Right.
and communities, they're changing.
Right.
So buy into it cheap now because it's cheaper than some of the other areas. You're not going to see the problems that you may have seen 10, 20 years ago in those areas.
And that's for a lot of areas throughout New Jersey, New York. Like we've
Yes.
seen the gentrifications.
Gentrification.
Right. We've seen
I
all.
don't want to say that, but yes.
I mean, it's
But
just
not
call
that
it what it is.
gentrification means, not that
It's
it
not
means,
a bad thing.
but it doesn't mean that those neighborhoods are better.
No.
It just means that it shows you, like whenever a Starbucks or Whole Foods or Wegmans
Investment
or
is
something
coming in.
moves,
Investment is
they've
coming in.
already done the work. They've
Right.
already seen what the community,
potential is, right.
the potential of the numbers and what people make and the demographics. They have that done.
Right.
Follow them.
Right.
That's going to tell you that neighborhood's ready to move.
Right.
It's ready to go up. So
And that's
it's
what you
not
wanna
about-
catch, right.
It's not about, I'm not talking specifically safety and crime and things like that. I'm talking about specifically equity.
Right.
Building equity in your home. So if you can figure out what neighborhoods, it's kind of hard if you're not in the business like me.
Right.
If you find a professional to help you,
Like you.
then you can see where your money is best invested.
Right. And thank you so much for talking about Mercer County. I've learned so much about Mercer County within the 20 minutes that we've been here. I didn't know that was that much going on. Like I said, I go in and out. My good friends, family members, I call them, they live in Hamilton, and we hung out there a couple of times. And from there also, we were able to go to Philly, which was like from their house to
45
Philly.
minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. We went out to eat. My wife and my homegirl, we had the vegan whole thing going, the whole experience. And I don't know, like you said, like I didn't think of, I thought it was like, oh my God, I'm gonna spend here 6-8 hours to get there. And next thing you know, from my house to Philly to their house, it took back and forth. It took all about 2.5 hours when it's all said and done. So there's a lot happening in Mercer County.
So let's not forget also, there's some great places too that are very close by
Right.
too, like Lambertville and New Hope.
New Hope, okay.
So there's beautiful two towns that I love going to. Lambertville is a beautiful area, walking area.
There's a vineyard there too, right?
Oh yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of things there.
Okay.
A lot of things there, and there's a bridge that connects New Jersey to Pennsylvania. So that bridge is a walking bridge, and cars go through it. And so you could spend a whole day in Lambertville, going shopping, antiques, have a glass of wine. They have a winery there, like a storefront, and they have beautiful in there. And if you right before you get there, there's something called Goat Hill Mountain,
Okay.
which you can actually see is like an overlook, and it's like in the mountain. You can meditate, however, look over and see the water that separates Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It's so scenic.
Wow.
And you can go to New Hope, and they have a train. They have a train in New Hope that you can just take, and they have like little types of dinners and things where they'll do like the Christmas thing for the kids, or they'll have like a wine tasting on the train, and you're going through the scenic routes of trees
What?
and hills and valleys.
Let me find
I'm
that.
telling you,
I gotta try it. Now I
it
gotta
is so
do this.
exciting. I'm telling you, so
Wow.
drastically different from where I came. I'm
Wow.
not. I'm not
You
kidding
came
you.
from the 4-5 train, right? The Bronx. The Bronx.
Boogie down Bronx.
But you know what? I got to check it out. Now that you told me about it, I got to, looks like this fourth quarter, I'm going to go down, check out what,
Well,
because it's winter.
you always have an invite.
Yeah,
You
you're
always
right.
have an invite. Bring the wife.
I'm swinging.
We'll take you out.
I'm swinging.
You know.
I'm gonna hold you that. Remember, this is recorded. I don't have to walk with no currency to go see Robin and partner. That's good.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. We got you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Because of the deals that we're doing, right? Given the fact that Mercer County is the best of both worlds, mostly rural, there's some urban elements to it. How do you immerse yourself with some of the communities in the rural area?
It's rural and suburban
Allegedly.
and urban. So I have
Rural.
actually been getting on Nextdoor.com,
Okay.
which is my little secret, because I do throw some things on there. I have a couple of groups.
Okay.
I have a buyer and a seller group on Nextdoor.com, and I give them tips and things like that. The people in the community, I've invited out. I go golfing, so
Okay.
I invite them to come golf. I've met a few people on there I've golfed with. I've been invited to some nice private country clubs, which
Wow,
I love.
check it out.
Anytime, invite me. I'm ready to swing.
Oh my gosh, you created the whole posture.
That was
and
a horrible
everything.
swing. No, that was like, but I actually I've gotten on Nextdoor, and I've gotten from that when I'm going to ShopRite or somewhere to get my groceries. People have stopped me, Robin Carter. I'm like, oh, this feels like home again,
Right.
You know, because that's how I was at home. So I got on that to get familiar with the communities and speak to people and see what their concerns are, because there are people on there complaining about their roads, complaining about the things happening in the town. So that keeps me abreast of what's going on, and I can further look into it.
Right.
Or if a buyer comes in and I'm like, wait, hold on, time out. This is what I heard about this. Let me look into it for you.
Okay.
And then also I got involved with Zonta International, which is a women's group who helps women in need, whether it be mothers or homeless women, not just here in Jersey. It's part of the Greater Trenton area, but also in, across overseas.
Right.
Like, for example, we had collected bras for women. Did you know women overseas make a lot of money selling bras on the street?
I did not know that. Wow.
So used bras, all of our used bras. So everyone's.
Ooh. I'm not touching this subject at all. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
So we collected tons
Dialogue,
of
go
bras,
ahead.
and we passed them on to some groups and things across seas.
Okay.
And these women take the bras and they walk down the street and they sell them. And that's how they're able to become entrepreneurs and make money.
They are entrepreneurs. If you're selling
Exactly.
you
Used
you
bras.
convincing me that you're selling, well, not me,
not
but
me.
you
I'm
did
not
right.
selling bras. I'm
But I'm just saying,
yeah.
if you're out there selling used bras, obviously you're like, yo, I'm an entrepreneur.
Hustling.
Hustling.
You
Yeah,
are
that's what it is.
Hustling.
Why not?
So we did a collection for that. We've packed book bags for kids at the schools and got given supplies and things like that. So that was one group I was part of. And then also just anything, I go to meetup.com, and sometimes I join like communities, whether it's on Zoom. I did, what's that thing where I forget the name. It's where you speak, you learn how to speak. What are those? Oh man, it's
Learn how to speak. Oh, you
like
talking
public
about,
speaking.
Oh,
I know, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember.
oh
what
my
it is.
God. I forgot. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's pain me because we only have X amount of minutes and I'm
I
supposed to
know.
figure this out in 2 seconds.
That's okay, don't worry about it. Everyone knows.
Oh
what
my
I'm talking
God. Yeah.
about. Yeah.
What is this? Oh my God. It's a unique name. It's
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's gonna kill
Something
me.
coffee table, something.
Yeah. Hopefully, as we
Yeah.
continue to talk,
We're
with
gonna-
the
when we're
minutes are
done,
left.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Right?
Yeah. And then just being in the community and joining different activities. People used to see me, out. Normally when I'm out, either they know who I am, or if they don't know who I am, people do come up to me and say hello to me
Right.
out of nowhere, or they'll like say, I like your hair.
Oh, what was it?
Toastmasters, Toastmasters, yes.
Yeah, Toastmasters. That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying, just generally just going out, being friendly, and going to different things that they mentioned, festivals. We went to the Azalea Festival at the Sayin Gardens, which is another park. Like, Mercer County has so many parks. We go to Veteran
Because
Park.
it's rural.
It's suburbs. It's suburbs. No, I came from rural. I had chickens. My neighbors had horses.
And they have chickens in
And
Mercer
cows.
County. And they have this in
They
Mercer
do. They do.
Exactly.
They
It's
do.
rural.
They do.
So,
So, yeah.
can you share a particular story?
Can I get another one? I'm done.
She's just like, why not?
Brown soda.
Can you share a particular story share a memorable particular story took place in the home buying or selling in Mercer County?
I'll do buyer. So I have a friend now. We're friends. I'm a forever agent, so like.
Okay, forever agent. I like that.
You don't kick me to the side. No, you can. It's fine. But normally, after the thing is here, because I'm so used to dealing with the contract and negotiations in South Jersey, we don't use attorneys.
Right.
So I can go through a whole contract. I read it up and down. Agents here, they don't really know the contract
Okay.
like I know it, because
Right.
they hand it off to
The lawyer.
the lawyer.
Right.
Right. And then the lawyer does all this fixing and things like that. And I've gone against attorneys where my client did not have an attorney. They didn't want to spend it.
Right.
And not that I want to represent them as an attorney. I don't, and I can't.
But you've made them well
I've helped
informed of
them.
what was going on, right?
Right. But I've gone back to back, toe to toe with an attorney on many occasions.
What?
Oh, don't play with me. I'm educated, so. But so I had a buyer, and she was referred to a friend from Philadelphia, referred to me, and we were looking at properties, and in my community there was one. Now I love my community, and the home was at a decent price. It was $300,000.
Right.
It was like $311,000. It was one of the smaller units. It was we went in and she loved it, and because I rehab homes by hand,
Right.
I know spackling jobs. I paint. I do all that stuff.
What?
I gut.
Okay.
I carry big things out and put big things down.
Okay.
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So
Robin the Builder.
hello.
Yeah.
She at first didn't want to get a home inspection. I said, "You need to get a home inspection."
Right.
And she was like, "It looks perfect." And a lot of buyers, they look at a house and if it's been rehabbed by whomever.
Right.
I said, that's always the reason why you need a home inspection. So we did the home inspection, came back, tons of things wrong, mold, rat infestation, just a bunch of stuff that was covered up, a hole in the roof, covered up. And she was like, "Oh my goodness." And I said, "Yeah, I wouldn't do it." And I said, "I wouldn't go for this home as much as I'd love to have you as my neighbor," which we were excited. We were talking about, we're going to have margaritas
Right.
on these days, go to the pool.
You was
blah, blah,
visualizing
blah.
everything. It was
yeah,
there.
she was a good client. So, I would love to have her as a neighbor. So then she backed out of the deal. And there were a lot of things on the report. And I said to her, the next buyer, I hope the agent lets them know what the findings are, because we have to disclose what we know is wrong with the house.
Correct.
So they put in a new kitchen, and behind the cabinets was mold.
Ooh.
And you could tell because the sink part was cut out.
Right.
So they found that out. So when we had backed out of it, I found her something else in Lawrence Township, actually. And Lawrence is another beautiful suburban community right next to Princeton.
Right next to Princeton.
So people get it mixed up.
Right.
And Hopewell and Pennington. Boy, I forgot those places. But anyway.
My sister lives in Hopewell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hopewell's nice.
It's like Mercer or Monmouth. Like it's both of them, right?
Yeah,
I think.
it depends on where.
Which side you're on,
yeah,
right?
there's East Windsor, West Windsor, Hopewell. There's a bunch of stuff. But anyway, so we ended up finding a condo community for her in Lawrence Township.
Right.
So then she says, "Robin, I want to move my mother close to me." And so I said, "Okay." So her mother said, "I'm going to put my house on the market." She already had a realtor. And I said, "Fine." And she got her home sold, and she says, "I'm ready to buy." And I said, "Okay." We set up how it would happen. She sold her home first, and they did a lease back, and then we found her property. So then it's a beautiful property in Lawrence as well. So actually, we're supposed to close on it on Friday, but the attorneys are on different pages. I hate that I'm so removed from that. Like,
Right.
I wish I could help more, but that's what I'm going through here in Mercer County with attorneys, and that's fine. It's fine.
Communication can be challenging sometimes.
Communication, too many hands in the pot, too many things going on, but we have closing tomorrow. So she's moving her things to storage right now, but at the same time, we're talking, she's already saying, "Oh, we're going to go out dancing." It's a 68-year-old woman. She came to the inspection with heels on.
What?
Meanwhile, I have my Nike sneakers on.
Right.
I'm trying to be comfortable, my suit, my Nike sneakers. I'm lying, I didn't have a suit on that day. But but no, she
That
came
brown
with her
suit is
heels
good,
on.
man.
She had her dress on, and she was like, her makeup was like, and I'm like, oh, she was like, "Well, I'm gonna find me a man here." And I was like, "Oh, is that what we're
Wow.
doing?"
Okay.
So yeah, she already joined the Elks Club
Whoa.
in Bordentown. She's ready, right? So
you gotta love it.
I will say, what I love best about this transaction is that I was able to help a family member. Like, I would want someone to help my family member in another profession.
Right.
And it stands out to me because that's how I like to move. I like to move as the family practitioner, such as, you won't get me treating you like a number, right? You come
Right.
to the door, "Okay, next."
Right.
I'm always going to be right there when you need me. I'm always going to check in and see how you're doing. If you need any questions answered, whether it be your tax bill, your taxes, anything you have to handle after the transaction.
Right.
That's why I consider myself a forever agent, because I have clients who I've worked with 10, 15 years ago, and they still have questions. They call me, they ask me, I'm getting ready to remodel my bathroom. Which tile do you think I should use?
That's important.
And I'll tell them, I'll say, this one's a little too decorative. It's not timeless. I prefer this one. It's more timeless. Like
right.
where, if you decide to sell, and not that I want to sell your home, is if you decide to sell, now you're not stuck with something that I'm going to be like, don't mind the bathroom tile. It's just a little pink with some pebbles and things going through it.
Pebbles and
things. Whatever. But truthfully, they do come to me for decor and not decor, but more so like, we're changing out the kitchen.
Right.
What should we go for soft closed drawers? And, I tell them little tips and things like that. Or we want to do this, or we want to do that. And some people call me about, listen, it's getting hard. My bills are high. What should I do? And then I say, hey, refinance, call Jimmy.
Right.
And so there's a lot of things.
Your database is so important. The client, because you've worked so hard to have them part of your life. I mean,
17 years. 17 years.
Wow.
Oh, no, 2008.
To ignore that,
I can't do math.
To ignore that, that's straight disrespectful. So I'm happy that you continue to have these relationships with those that were with you from inception, right?
Yeah.
It's so important. It's just, it goes to who you are too, as you know who I am. Like you said, I'm your forever agent. No matter what's going on in my life, I'm here because of your life.
I always tell my clients, and they know that, I said, you can contact me anytime. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. You can text me. I'm not going to answer it, but I'll see it when I wake up in the morning.
Right.
And that's where I tell them, like, when it's on your mind, just text me or email me, or, you can call me if it's regular hours.
Right.
However,
regular hours.
Right.
I'm
not going to always answer because I'm out. I like to live my best life, and I encourage those to live their best life. So people tell me they want to be happy. I try to make their lives happy. Right. My biggest specialty is actually dealing with clients who are at odds. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, exactly know what I mean.
When you have divorce,
left and right, and then
when you have a divorce, I have a way of getting this person and this person on the same page. When I have family members who are fighting over an estate,
right,
I have a way of getting them both to understand that we're going to do things justly and honestly, and everyone's going to benefit from it in the way that they're supposed to benefit from it.
A lot of it is because of the way you articulate what they're looking for, right? Not many can talk to your level and
it's
explain
not
it, right?
Level. It's like this. Like, there's people that just don't.
But you have to call it like you see it.
But some people don't have good personalities either.
That's
They're
important.
Abrupt.
Right. Yes. That does play
They're
into
self-serving.
Yes. Okay. You're right. But I feel like the way you deliver, even when you and I are speaking, right? Like, I get it the first time. I get it, like, you make it make sense. And I think I know you do a great job when you're explaining these type of difficult conversations, because that is not easy. It is. It's just not. I mean, like, you got emotions, you got everything swinging back. Then you got this cousin from this town, then you got cousin from this state calling you like, who you think you is? And like, you get into all this.
And I've had that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and then they love me afterwards.
Right.
Because they understand my intention.
Right. To have that part and then make it all work out for two parties that are going at it, that's like, yo, you got it, man.
Yeah.
So that's what's up.
I always tell people, like, well, we're going to do things the way it's supposed to be done.
Right.
And if someone comes to me and they're trying to do things the way it's not supposed to be done, I'll let them know the implications of that. And then they're like, oh.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And that's the one thing I do know. And I should have been an attorney, but I'm not. And I don't practice as being one. And I always tell them to seek attorney advice.
Right.
But not for me.
No,
you can just hear what I'm saying, and then you can take that wherever else. But yeah, I used to be a real problem solver until I stopped accepting problems from other, some people will call me after they've dealt with another agent.
Right.
And I'm like, you should have called me first.
Right.
And even if they call me second, I'll have to see what the situation is, because I'm not going to go crazy over, you knew who I was. Now, that's if they knew who I was and they knew to call me, but they chose not to. They went with like a friend or a family member that didn't know what they were doing. So what I always encourage buyers and sellers to do is to make sure you vet your realtor. Make sure you interview a couple and see who you actually vibe with. That's just the easiest thing to say. Like someone you're going to vibe with, meaning same energy, not someone who's going to dictate and not someone who's not going to do enough and is going to be concerned if they're doing a good enough job. You want someone confident. You want someone who can navigate for you, someone who can actually advocate for you and take over responsibilities that you don't want. That has to do with the transaction. So my advice to potential buyers and sellers, I'm not telling everyone to call me. I can't help everyone. But if you are in the Mercer County, Burlington County, Camden County,
call me.
Cumberland County, Gloucester County,
call me.
Middlesex, call me.
Right.
But, you know, if you don't feel like we have a connection, then, you know, or you have a connection with your agent, it's okay to go and split, you know, ways. I had a client who split ways with their broker, and they actually, I did not want them to, but they chose to take their home off the market and wait until their contract expired. They did not want that agent to make any money from their home. Wow. They let their contract expire. I said, I can't deal with you. I can't deal with your listing right now. You have to wait until your contract expires. And they chose the house to be off the market until they could list with me.
That's crazy.
It is.
Wow. Well, Robin, thank you so much for coming on the Let's Talk About It.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can't wait for this episode.
This was fun, and you guys have really good brown soda back there. It's my day off, you know.
You said it's my day off.